You have to get licensed in any state that you're going to practice in. And once you're licensed, you can practice essentially any type of law anywhere within the state that you are. I personally choose to practice in criminal defense and family law, which is a lot of divorce, custody, adoption, that type of thing. I work for myself along with two partners, one being my older brother Joel and another attorney, Carl Rice. And I regularly practice in Schuylkill, Northumberland, Snyder, Union, Lycoming, and Dauphin counties. I mean, quite frankly, I could go to Pittsburgh if I want to, but again, I'm trying to do this to make a living. It doesn't really pay to drive 3 hours there, 3 hours back, so that's just what I choose to do. If you don't want to be bored, if you can deal with stress, if you can multitask, and you don't have a problem being a problem solver or a negotiator, this very well may be a job for you. If you want to become an attorney in Pennsylvania, you have to either waive in or you need to pass the bar exam. The bar exam consists of a essentially 3-day test. One day of the test is on ethics, making sure that you're on the up and up. It's those kind of questions, making sure you're honest and you understand what the consequences are if you're not honest. Okay? The other 2 days, one day consists of an all-day multiple choice test, and the second day is an all-day essay exam. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not fun, okay? But being an attorney, it is a very rewarding career. You get to meet, I tell it to my clients all the time, a lot of nice people, unfortunately, in not such nice situations. Typically, if somebody is coming to you and they need an attorney, it's not necessarily because things are going well, okay? Particularly in my line of work. They're either coming to me because either they were just arrested, they would like to get out of jail, they're looking to avoid going to jail. They want to be able to have their kids in a custody battle, they're splitting up, they're going through a divorce. So you have to be very patient. I mean, unfortunately, the bottom line rule is people will make mistakes, and you are there because they need help, and you're looking to help. And it may be that their best term is to work something out. It's not necessarily that you're going to be able to keep them out of jail, but it might be we can work it out so it's less jail than what you originally thought. And the same thing with custody. Custody is never an easy thing to finalize, but usually if the parents can work out some sort of schedule, it's typically going to be better than if the court has to simply order a schedule. To waive into practice in Pennsylvania, you have to be accepted. You would have been basically practicing as an attorney in another state. So you would have had to pass that that state's bar, and then get approval after so many years of practicing in that state to be able to practice in Pennsylvania. When I sat and took the bar exam, it was either the 4th or 5th hardest in the country. The bad side is, it was the 4th or 5th hardest in the country. The good thing is, quite honestly, if I want to waive into most other states, they're going to accept it because it had such high standards to pass. In order to become an attorney, the type of background that you need to have, you have to pass 4 years of your undergraduate. And quite honestly, I had a couple people come up and ask me, and I'm sorry I'm going to be repeating this, it really doesn't matter what your major is. My dad was an attorney for almost 30 years, and he's a judge now. He was a music major. You think, well, what does that have to do with law? Not really anything. That's my point. Law school will teach you what you really need to know for law. I was an English and business major with an emphasis in marketing. But if I had it to do over again, both of those I thought were actually very applicable, but I may have changed the marketing to either finance or accounting. I'm going to borrow the words of the veterinarian. I'm not sure where she went. She had said about accounting. I absolutely agree with that. I work for myself along with two partners, not to mention when you're doing divorce and you're splitting up somebody's assets, the more you understand about what they're keeping in their books, the better off you are. So I think that's a wonderful major. Other majors that people don't necessarily think of make a great background would be in nursing. I have an attorney friend who was a registered nurse in an emergency room. She does a lot of work in either medical malpractice, where a doctor is being accused of making a mistake, or in any type of workers' compensation where somebody gets hurt on the job and you're needing to review medical records. That makes an excellent background. After you have your 4-year degree, you need to attend and pass an accredited law school in Pennsylvania to sit for the bar. Quite honestly, I don't exactly know what all goes into becoming accredited, other than it's got to be good. So you basically have to make sure that the school you're going to is accredited if you want to sit for the Pennsylvania bar. Aside from that, let's see. Oh, one other major that oftentimes people may not think of is foreign languages. Right now, you're dealing with a lot of different languages coming into the United States. So a background in Spanish, Chinese, Russian would be outstanding if you have any intentions of maybe being interested in working for the government. So if you have interest for working for the CIA or the FBI, that would be a great background. Finally, while I practice in criminal defense, a lot of people think that that is going to be your dangerous area, and I would just like to correct that. Really, not so much. If somebody's sitting in jail, they're happy to see me. They think maybe they're going to get out. Maybe I'm going to be able to help them get out. They're not the dangerous ones. The ones you need to be a little more concerned about, family law. If you're going to be taking someone's child from them or taking their home from them, that can get people pretty angry. And quite frankly, a lot of my job is what I call poking the bear. I try to make them look bad on the stand. I do what I can to get them set off. That tends to get some very angry people on the other side. So if you're not interested in something dangerous, I heavily advise you don't go into family law. Any questions? Yeah, come see me.